time to heal from victim to victor. As human beings, we all experience different things. Life tends to help us learn and grow from the lessons it brings, such as joy, laughter, anger, sadness, and hurt. But at times, we become guarded and only learn how to be on alert, ready to take down anything that brings back pain and strife, basically shoot down anything relative to that life. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm just being real. After a while, it's time to clear the tears and accept that it's time to heal. Because time heals all, no matter how many times we fall. That statement may be a cliche, but very true. I'm sure we all can sing, "Lord, you brought me through." That's part of being human. We all make mistakes. But the biggest mistake you can make is staying on your face. I have a story to tell that some of you may be able to relate to. Just like any of life lesson that you hear from one friend or two, it tells of a story of a bitter young lady. I know, another hurt woman because someone was flaky. Yes, it may be a tired old song, but let's finally sit down and see what is really wrong. By the end of this story, I hope it brings you all encouragement to not become a victim, but a victor in life's challenging amusement. There was a young woman sitting at her kitchen table, with her head down, defeated, as if her world was unstable. Every morning, this was her way of preparing for the day, while other people would turn on soft music and begin to pray. On the outside, she would be considered a decent human being, but on the inside, where her heart lay, holds a totally different meaning. Every morning she woke up, she would sit and stare at her past, table covered with pictures and valuable items from friendships or relationships that didn't last. Cheater, deceiver, liar, trickster, fraud, con artist is what they were to her. She would dwell on the past until the hardening of her heart would occur. Bitterness without the sweet is what drove her. Not a rooted spirituality, but hardening and protecting her heart from life's everyday struggles and reality. From home to work to hanging out to home again was her routine. As you could see, she had programmed herself like she was a machine. If anyone that tried to get close, she would push them away. To a man, she was only a mannequin that was only for display. Any man that came her way didn't have a chance. All her feelings, emotions, and opinions were all said with one glance. Because of her fragile friendships in her past, associates and family members are the only roles in her life's character cast. Her life began to look like a Lifetime movie, very predictable, with a song that wouldn't show her true beauty. No new friends, like Drake said. Anytime anyone new approached her and her associates, she fled. But it was something they just couldn't comprehend. Her associates thought she was easy to offend. She didn't want anyone to disturb her way of order. If only she knew it was keeping her from moving forward. What she didn't allow herself to see was the truth, holding on to hurt that was zapping her youth. Instead of choosing to forgive and forget, she treasured the very thing that was a threat. Bitterness grew and grew more and more in her heart. From her point of view, she was playing it smart. If bitterness were a curse, she would look at it as a blessing. But if you were outside looking in, it would be just one word: depressing. As you can see, she seems hard on the outside, but on the inside, her heart is rotting because of her pride. Sometimes it takes a mother to break pride, to break the curse. Let me continue to explain in the next verse. Hurting people hurt people is what my pastor preached. Emotional pain can suck all the life out of you like a blood-sucking leech. When you allow hurt to run your life, oh, woe is me, is all you can recite. See, this young lady had a mother that knew God's love. She knew that is what her daughter needed a lot of. You must let go of your past, baby. You must forgive. And if you don't, the pain is all you'll relive. God died so that you could be set free from all hurt, sorrow, and pain. Gave you power to break every chain. Let God help you stop crying because it's time. Let God heal the bitterness in your heart because it's time. Let God hold you and comfort you because it's time. Let God be the God He always wanted to be for you because it's time. No more being a victim when Jesus died so you could be a victor. He died and rose again to give you so much more. Honey, it is time. It's time to heal. The first step is letting go of how you feel. In that moment, the young lady knew what her mom said was right. It was time to let go and get her life right. She spent so much time being the victim and alone, slowly letting her heart turn into stone. Tear by tear, each fell down her face, finally giving all that pain and hurt a chance to escape. The more she cried, the better she felt. It was like joy and peace causing her heart to melt. The years of denial was a lot of lost time, but a lesson gained to apply for a lifetime. She went back to her place and slowly approached the kitchen table with a new mindset called willing and able. Day by day, she put an item of her past in a box. The days seemed to pass like the tick on a clock. Finally, she dumped all the items in the box as tears rolled down her face. Mixed with tears of pain and joy, she proceeded with grace. She walked to her backyard and dumped it all in the trash. She struck a match and watched all her past pain turn into ash. She took a deep breath and turned her back on the past, knowing that the last shall be first and the first shall be last. As she walked away, she did something she hasn't done in a while. She looked up to the sky and thanked God as her face held a beautiful smile.
But don't be afraid to fall. Don't be afraid to fall on your face. Because with God you win. He can do the impossible. So stand tall and know you will always have a second chance. Call grace. You will always have a second chance. Call grace. Don't be afraid to fall. Don't be afraid to. Impossible. Because with God you win. Oh yeah. He can do the impossible. Stand tall. And know you will always have a second chance. Call grace. You will always have a second call grace. To catch you. Because with God you win. He can do the impossible. So stand tall and know He can do. You will always have the heart.